And many years later, Lightsworn receives some of the craziest support I think I've ever seen. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we're going to be starting off with Dragon of the Lightsworn. And I'm getting My Little Pony references from this little guy. But okay, so this is going to be level 4 light effect monster. You only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name once per turn. So if we have a Lightsworn monster in our graveyard, we can special summon this from our hand as a free level 4 extender. Good stuff. If this card is special summoned, you can send one Lightsworn card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Dragon Lightsworn. So that specifically drops Wolf or, something else along the way. Go ahead and special summon it. You're at Minerva. Okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one dragon monster with 3,000 attack, 2,600 defense from your deck to your hand. Yeah, that's right. They gave us the fabled Judgment Dragon Searcher. You know how long we've been waiting for the ability to search for Judgment Dragon? Okay. And next up is Weiss, the Lightsworn Archfiend. And, that's right, that had Archfiend in the name. Things that you didn't know that you wanted to see. Also, this has 0 attack, 1,700 defense, and it is a tuner monster. Oh. So you can only use the first second effects of this card's name once per turn. So we can place one of the Lightsworn card from your hand on the top of your deck, special summon this card from your hand, and then send 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. You know those pesky wolves that you always keep bricking on and you're like, wow, I hate these cards so much. Yeah, this unbricks them and then you can trigger the mill for them. Like, this is actually really good. If this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can target one Lightsworn monster in your graveyard except for this card and special summon it. Okay, so you not only do you get a free, revive, it also helps unclog the hands. I'm genuinely surprised that they made this feel as good as it's supposed to. And then there's Enlightenment Dragon. That's a 3,000. And, you always were wondering what happens if we shove Judgment Dragon and Punishment Dragon together. Well, this is the case. So this must be special summoned by banishing the above cards from your field and graveyard. 1 each. So you're going to have 1 on the field, 1 in the grave. That's actually not that hard to do. Once per turn, quick effect, you can pay 2,000 life points, banish all other cards on the field and in the graveyards. Okay. I love the and in the graveyards, sure. And then once per turn during the end phase, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Maintenance cost, sure. If this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can add 1 each of your banished Judgment Dragon and Punishment Dragons to your hand, and then you can special summon both, ignoring their summoning conditions. Why, excuse me, I always wanted to have my boss monsters return back to the field if my opponent destroyed this. Man, there's some really cheesy things I feel like you could do with this. Now, our waifu is returned. Alright, she got a huge upgrade. She is now a Synchro. Remember that tuner that we talked about earlier? Well, you have the ability to actually do something with it now. So level 8 Light Fairy Synchro. It's Minerva, the Lightsworn Athena. So 1 tuner plus 1 more non-tuner. You can only use the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is Synchro summoned, you can send Lightsworn monsters with different different types from your deck to the graveyard up to the number of Lightsworn monsters. Use the material for this special summon. So, yeah, that's a free. So if you use 2 to make this, it's a free mill 2. I'm actually kind of about that. It's pretty good. Lightsworn monsters you control cannot be banished by card effects. That's right. This Minerva protects your cards from getting banished by the big old stinky JD. And then you can banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your graveyard to send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Yeah, you heard me say that right. Those Lightsworns that you just milled off, you now get to feed off into the Punishment Dragon now. So they actually did us a huge solid with that. They needed to find a way to speed up the process for this. Next up is Be Gone! Okay, I actually really like this card. This is kind of cool. So normal trap card, you only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Lightsworn monsters you control, and negate their effects till the end of this turn. That's a cool chainable skill drain. And if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can reset it. This is one of those cases where we actually get value out of our trap card. This makes me wonder if going forward in the future list, once we see Agito and Kelbeck actually, go away, these cards are actually really cool. But, we got to get rid of those first. Now, a couple of other little things that we got here. So, the OCG reprints, guess what? Lightsworn stuff. Yeah, who would have guessed that? Oh, look. You also get reprints on the Ancient Gear stuff. Yeah, who would have guessed that? Now this is where things get really cool. So they are doing full art sets of these alt arts now for Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. And basically the way that these combination sets work is they're two whole pictures. Also, this is probably by far one of the coolest Red Eyes arts we've seen. And Blue Eyes still look like a giant chicken for some odd reason. But, I'm kind of digging this. And then there's going to be these tokens down here that are going to have redemption codes on them. And basically what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to redeem for copies of these in frames, which is actually really, really cool. I love that Konami is taking the initiative to do extremely cool things like this. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you do want to see. Now, overall, for the actual stream, Gandora is going to be our holographic rare for the set. I'm not surprised about that. We got our first look at the Blob for this set. We also have new Rush Duel Mat, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, this goes absolutely beautiful. Like, this mat, I also didn't even know that we had other riders on this little guy. I don't think anybody really caught that, right? But this thing, most of the time you look at this thing, you're just looking at, like, the top half here. But no, there's actually more to this. Like, the color scheme for this mat is gorgeous. Like, the blue, the reds, the flames, like, this just draws you in on such a crazy piece. And now this is the type of, like, WCQ mat that you do want to see. I'm actually super excited if, we'll get a rendition of this. If not, just pick this version up. And, of course, there's also going to be special Blue Eyes sleeves. Once again, this screenshot doesn't really do these justice, but this actually is a really cool piece just to be able to add to your collection. A lot of cool collector stuff. I mean, it's not going to be the craziest stuff in the world, but that's Lightsworn stuff hits insanely hard, and that's what I want to see. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.